Yeah, it's really nice, that swimming pool. All of them.
Oh, madre, mama.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, this is this is wonderful.
Yeah. And this is free. Nobody knows, which is the best.
Yeah.
We sort of lost touch with the real thing for a while, and luckily now people are getting more and more concerned about how rich we are in a way to have what we have, the nature and the culture and the resources. So that's why, as you know, we voted no in the referendum 2 days ago. And I'm very proud to be an Icelander at the moment because we said no. And this actually we did with, even though, despite the fact that the government they manipulate the newspapers easily, and most of them, and the message from the government was to the Icelandic public: if you say no, you'll be the Cuba of the North, which was a direct wording as well. Yeah. So it was scare tactics, and they said if Icelanders say no, then you will have unemployment doubling, and you will have poverty rising, and you will have no income and no jobs and no loans. But luckily people are realizing we don't need loans. We just need to do the right thing. That's what the whole world needs to do, actually, do the right thing. Yeah. Don't do what you're sort of feeded from bankers. Just do the right thing.
You know, we felt the 9th of April that the celebration, that happiness was like kind of short. Because, because it's the no wind, just go, but then it's like, okay, the problem is not solved.
No.
You know how deep is the problem, so the celebration was short. So how deep we can go to?
It was the plain argument for saying yes from the government was, if you say yes, then we're going to get a lot of money from the IMF to help us fixing the current problem. The current problem is that Iceland is technically bankrupt. Nobody's just really facing the fact that we owe so much money, because we're just 330,000 people, and the financial sector was 12 times bigger at the end than the Icelandic state itself, the GDP of Iceland. So when that went bankrupt, I mean, I think we have out of top 10 biggest bankruptcies in the history of banks, we have 2, I think I'm correct there, and we have 330,000 people. So we already been hit really, really hard. So it's not a question about that. But it's sort of for me the situation is we're bankrupt. So what do you do with somebody who's bankrupt? You want to give them a lot of money. That's just not what you do. So the argument, and I did discuss this with a very good friend of mine. He's a bit older. He's more into the factories and building and sort of, build something. It's about building. Yeah. And I explained to him that, and I didn't explain, we were talking, it was a discussion, it was a dialogue. And I felt at the end that he agreed with me that the only way is not to build more. We just have one planet Earth, and we don't need to build everywhere. That's not the thing. And by not having more loans, and I don't see why anybody would give us money, because we can't pay back unless they want this, which I don't want to give. So that's the only reasoning for giving money to Iceland, is to get the water, the fish, the renewable energy, the resources that we have, and the fresh water, and the nature, of course. But the way I see it, it hopefully was the best thing ever happened to Iceland, because when we said no, it means we have to think differently. We have to think about other ways than sitting like pigs and being fed with more money until we get so fat that we can't stand up, and then people come and put us on the barbecue. That's the way I see it happening.